3rd of February, 1604. Dearest Francis, it is with great sadness that I write to inform you of my wife Jane's passing. How I wish I could say she went peacefully, in our bed, perhaps even as she slept. But as you know from my previous letters, such gentle peace was never going to be her destiny. The crushed scabs were effective for a while, but time wore on, and as my supplies dwindled, the infection grew stronger. The veins blackened. The glands became swollen and pustulant. Her countenance became impossible to look upon, repulsive even to me, her husband, and I knew the end was near. The straps were like bands of parchment when the infection took full hold. Her voice and mind lost. Naught but a guttural screech escaped her throat as she clutched at me. At me! With evil intent. I have often mused upon the myth of the banshee and wondered what sound such a creature might make. After last night, I wonder no more. I upheld my solemn promise to her. The end was swift. My old friend, I will return to London soon. There is nothing left for me here, and my conflict with the Scot, James, seems insignificant in the face of this threat. I will seek you upon my arrival, and I beg of you to resume our search for the Enochian code that unlocks the panacea. No quest has ever been of such vital importance. Dear Francis, this book details my observations of the Blight during my travels, with special interest in the Clermont-Ferrand Blight of 1588, and the complicity of the Medici in the papal deception to hide the awful truth of this epidemic. As you know, I fear it will not be long before the Blight reaches our own sceptred isle. We must work to find a cure before all is lost, and I am certain that upon reading this book you will not hesitate to join me. Dr. John Dee. Gesner has clearly made more progress than I or any of my peers. I will endeavour to collect and dry infected scabs in Avignon in an attempt to produce a powder from them. If Gesner is correct, inhaling or injecting the powder will boost my resistance to the malady. In some subjects, pockets filled with a rich, acrid pus form near hot, inflamed areas around the groin, armpits, and jaw. I have extracted this liquid for further investigation. The angel chided me thus: "Ignorance was the nakedness whereby you first were tormented, and the first plague that fell upon man was the wanting of science. The want of science hinders you from knowledge of your own self." The patients succumb immediately to infection in the region where the malady enters the body. Violent convulsions follow, and their veins turn black as ink. Poisoned blood radiates from the wound, spreading like the roots of a venomous tree, accelerated by unnatural haste. It would be beautiful, if not for its dark design. The patient must be restrained and cannot be calmed by any manner of herbal sedative. She seems ravenous, and nothing I feed her can satiate her monstrous appetite, as if compelled by a most foul instinct to devour all life within her reach. She freed herself of her bonds yesterday, and would have gutted our horse alive if I had not reached her in time. I find myself in awe of the piteous state to which man is reduced. A walking conduit, a mere empty coil, which lives only to feed its greedy and carnal instincts. Following the recommendations of De Remedi Secreti, I reduced the pus to a dry powder and discovered that injecting the concoction into the subject— God forgive me that I refer to my own wife as subject— causes the black blood to retract and wither. I glimpsed the flush of my wife's once rosy complexion through the sickness, but alas, she then succumbed to one final fit, and at last, with blessed mercy, ceased moving forever. May God have mercy upon her soul, and allow it now to rest. I remain convinced this volume offers practical methods for obtaining a solution, perhaps even the key to save us all.